Mandela and the ANC weren't on the same mission, because when Mandela was removed from jail to start the negotiations in 1987, he was negotiating with the CIA. The CIA was basically creating Mandela to be bigger than the ANC. So already the news media, which is controlled by the propaganda machine, was already showing us that there's Mandela and then there's the rest of these other ANC savages. In fact, the main one who would turn this country into turmoil is Chris.
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies.
My God, I'm tired of trying to be okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my vlog. Actually, this vlog is about whether or not Mandela sold out. Actually, I don't believe so, but I found some reasons to ask the same question. So guys, subscribe to the channel. Actually, we're headed to Soweto Vilakazi Street, to Mandela's house, and see, man, what happens, and see how this question is gonna be valid. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are on the road to greatness. Watch the video till the end, guys. Yeah, welcome, guys. We are on the road to Soweto, guys. If you don't know, man, Soweto is southwestern townships. This is a place during the colonial South African days where only black people used to stay, or where the colonial government of South Africa pushed black people to stay, and the rest of other of Johannesburg was for only white people, the privilege at the time. So now, guys, you know the story. If you have read about South African history, you should be knowing Nelson Mandela. So now I'm going to Vilakazi Street, where the great Nelson Mandela used to stay. And now here is where the gist of the matter is. So guys, I would like to ask you first to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, like, share and comment, and let's see where this title is gonna take us. Now, guys, selling out or not selling out, my statement or my opinion is not final, but all I want to ask you guys is to put on your lenses from my perspective and see what you can make out of my perspective. So guys, we all know Mandela as the darling, the greatest of all leaders, the most democratic, the most peaceful, the most revolutionary. Everything good about Mandela politically, you can say. But now, here is what shocked me. I went to Soweto, as I'm going to show you in the video. Please watch the video till the end. What I saw in Nelson Mandela's house blew my mind, man. It blew my mind. So let's go back a little bit. You know, during the apartheid government of South Africa, at some point it was led by F.W. de Klerk, or Frederick W. de Klerk. So this guy was the president of South Africa, or the interim president of South Africa, or the leader of South Africa during the bad days or apartheid days. So this guy was in a layman's understanding, he was fighting with Nelson Mandela, as he wanted to stay in power, and also Nelson Mandela was fighting against him to try to end apartheid or the evil regime. So now, what is interesting for me or mind-blowing is that I found F.W. de Klerk's picture in Nelson Mandela's house. Guys, can I repeat myself? I found F.W. de Klerk's picture in Nelson Mandela's house. Now, for a layman, you can actually, for a random person, you would say, no, that's no problem. There's reconciliation and all that, which I really understand. But man, does it make sense to you? There's so much analogies, fallacies, conspiracies about Nelson Mandela and his leadership and his revolutionary and his behavior after his release from prison. And now, when it comes to me, now finding what I found out, now it escalates the matter. But guys, watch the video till the end. You're gonna tell me what you think. I know Nelson Mandela as a great leader, but also now I have my fears on what I used to think about him, man. And I'm not judging, guys. I'm only giving out my honest opinion. You gonna add on what you think? Please tell me in the comment sections. And remember, guys, I love Nelson Mandela, but you, something is fishy, guys. Yeah, here we are, guys. This is Vilakazi. Actually, already here. We are already here. This is Soweto, or southwestern townships. That's how it is supposed to be in full. But anyhow, guys, this is Vilakazi, Soweto, where Nelson Mandela, one of the greatest leaders of Africa, used to stay. So we're here trying to look for parking. So this guy is a security guard, self-appointed. He's trying to show us where to go and park, and then later we come and tour. Actually, this is not my first time here, so let's get inside after parking, after music, traditional music. And man, guys, you should visit Vilakazi Street and see African heritage, African history.
It's time for Africa. Soweto, Mandela, Africa. Come and join me. Soweto, Mandela, Africa. Come and join me.
Go enjoy. It's interesting. It's a traditional
Also, you, my sister, can come and join me.
Guys, we got a chance to take a picture with South African soldiers. You cannot easily see them. I want just to zoom this in. She's actually Sergeant 3. It doesn't come easy. You have to work hard for your country. I really appreciate these ladies. Yeah, guys, that's it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like, share, and comment. Yeah, we had a chance. If you're from Uganda, you know the number plate for the army is something, but this is different. Hello, how are you? Good. How much do you sell your souvenirs? Like this one? Oh, okay. Hey, if you like souvenirs, just to buy it for the memory.
How much is it? The one with the pure mini flower. South African flag. Which one? This one. Let me see text.
So guys, this is Vilakazi Street. As you can see, Soweto, South Africa. There's so many tourists. I just wanna talk to a couple of them and ask them what brings them to South Africa, what they like about South Africa. Because for me, I've been liking a lot of stuff from here. So I wanna see what they say, what they like. You can see everything Soweto, key holders, a lot of stuff here. So many of the key holders. If you wanna have drinks, yeah, this is Soweto Vilakazi. It's a busy street today, but hope you guys like it, because I really love it here, man. I really love it. Yeah, I think these are tourists, but this is how Vilakazi looks like, man. If you ever come to South Africa, don't miss coming to this place, man, and you have a good time. You feel the breeze of greatness, of revolutionarism, nationalism, Africanism, Pan-Africanism. It all started here by Nelson Mandela. Here is over there, it's his house, his former house where he stayed first. So we're gonna try and see if we can go in there. I want to talk to these white folks for a minute and I see what their experience of South Africa, of Vilakazi, and I get to talk to them for a minute. I don't know if it's gonna be possible, but you know, guys, you know, I always pray something happens or it gets easy.
Group by group.
Oh, okay.
Let's these cups here. It's nice.
The cups.
But they're like Masai one. Hey, how are you, brother? Right. How much is this? This one and this one. Windpipe. Baba Nelson Mandela. Madiba.
Guys, let me just go try and see how much they're gonna charge us to enter in here, and I'll be talking to you. You're born on faith. Really? I'm just 45. Alright, so guys, this is the entrance fee. Let's see.
In the whole world.
What's that?
It's Mandela and Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu was not born in Soweto. He was born in Klerksdorp. He moved in 1975.
Wow.
So him and Mandela, they hardly knew each other. They get to know each other very well when Mandela came out of prison. That's when he spent 2 nights in their apartment in Cape Town. And then Mandela came here for 11 days brief. Because of me and you, Mandela was not, he didn't have any privacy. That's why he had to move out here.
And he went to, is it Houghton?
Houghton,
Yeah.
yes. We thought he gonna stay in Beverly Hills. When you cross the street, we call it Beverly Hills. Our middle class people, they would stay this side. If we are rich, we stay this side. Not like us. This side is Portugal.
So I like.
Mandela was born in Soweto. No, Mandela was born in Verso.
Eastern Cape.
Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
He was from the royal family.
Yeah.
So he ran away from an arranged marriage. And then they stole 2 cows, him and the cousin. And then he came to Alexander. Alexander, and then he came to Soweto when he met Walter Sisulu. Walter was his mentor. He used to own a law firm and property. So the first wife, Mandela was invited into a wedding. That's when he met Walter Sisulu's cousin. And then Walter Sisulu.
Wow.
Yes, so you wouldn't qualify for this house if you didn't work for a government.
Oh.
So the first wife was a nurse.
Okay.
Mama Winnie was a social worker.
Yeah.
You see, that's how. Mandela ungenenge punch.
Hey, you have so much history, bro.
Yes, I'm also a side guy.
I'd like to ask one question. Where does Umama Yvonne Chaka Chaka stay? Dobsonville. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
They were all born in
Brenda
Soweto. Greenside, you go
Brenda
when
Fassi.
you are rich.
Brenda Fassi is in Parkview, right?
Yes,
A
but
house.
it was in Orlando East also.
Ne.
Yeah. So all these people that you know, famous
See that? The owner of Kaiser Chiefs. Yes. I would like to go and.
His first house is this side.
You.
But he later moving.
Yeah.
Later moving.
He's not
suburbs.
Bryanston.
Yes.
Yeah.
But his home is that side, Pefeni.
Oh, Pefeni, yeah.
Yes,
There's a train station
that's the
there.
family house. So
Okay.
this house, matchbox houses, they belong to us.
Wow.
More than more than 8 people would stay. I remember when I was young, when they dish up 8. We were about 16 in the house. I know that this is my plate, this is my brother's plate. You wouldn't just take any plate.
Anyone's.
And I used to sleep next to a fireplace.
Wow.
That was my spot.
Was it a Mukuku or a different house?
It was a house like this.
Oh, matchbox house.
Yeah, matchbox house. But
Alright.
now I'm a backyard dweller by my place. You see.
That's
You
nice.
know, it's hard to find
That's nice.
a house in South Africa. Even the jobs is very hard. You have nepotism. That's why you are working like this.
Yeah, that's the same like for our countries also. There's nepotism, despotism, there's corruption.
And I wanted to show something. Come see.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I like history. Yes.
See Hector Peterson trade.
Yeah.
So when you go up the road,
Yeah.
that's where Hector Peterson was shot.
Oh.
In 1976, remember the kids, they were fighting Africans.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
So the government introduced a new law which was called Bantu Education. Bantu Education is a very low class of education which cannot choose a career of choice. So the students at this school, Pefeni Secondary School, is still operational. They decided not to write their mid-year exam. And then it spread all over Soweto. So they were heading to Orlando Stadium, pass via Orlando Police Station to pass a memorandum that they want to Africans as a medium of instruction. So the young Hector was shot up the road. When he was shot, so a journalist, he spotted the guy who picked up Hector, Luisa Maku. Took him a photo, and then the cleverest thing that he did, he hid the film in the sock, and then he ran down to Desmond Tutu, because he knew that Desmond Tutu was the only person who was allowed to go around the world. He was a bishop. Remember, we were on sanctions.
Yeah.
No Olympics, no import.
No World Cup, no
So Desmond Tutu was being sponsored by the English people. He was the only person who was allowed to go around the world. So even the photo of Hector Peterson was not published in Soweto. It was published in
Botswana. Wow.
They say at least about 600 students died on that day.
I saw that movie. I watched the movie.
The one is too many. You cannot kill him.
Yo, brother, thanks very much for your information. I would like to ask about Stephen Biko and Chris Hani, if you know anything.
Those no brother.
Yo. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, thanks, my brother. Sure.
So,
Vilakazi Soweto, guys. Actually, it's gonna be my second time getting in here. The last time I was here, it was just $50 to get in, but now things have changed. It's now $100. Yo, Ziakala Kemanch. Yeah, and impressively, there are some white people here who are entering, and unfortunately, I couldn't interview them. But anyhow, let's see. We can pay to this side.
Age 67. Then after that, the clone took over. Even his wife, Winnie Madikizela, said the Nelson Mandela that came out in prison is not the man she knew. This...
My glasses on.
When Nelson Mandela returned from prison, he got separated with Winnie Mandela and went to stay in a house of the rich white men. He was looked after by the Oppenheimers. Nelson Mandela used to attend the club meetings of those white men who owned the South African economy at the time. He stayed in their complex. He stayed with them. He stayed in one of their houses. They had access to him 24 hours. And they told him that what he represents will not be achieved. And then that's when he turned against himself. Because the Nelson we are celebrating now is not the Nelson we celebrated before prison and during prison. It's a staged, managed Nelson Mandela who compromised the fundamental principles of the revolution, which are well captured in the Freedom Charter. The EFF subscribed to the Freedom Charter. The Freedom Charter has got a detailed explanation of how everything else is going to be achieved. The Freedom Charter is the Bible of the South African Revolution. Any deviation from that is a sellout position. So, unlike Nelson Mandela, we're doing what Nelson Mandela didn't do. We are happy he ushered in. We normally don't use those phrases like Mandela sold out and we are being too harsh, man. He was too old, he was tired. So he had to give in on some of the things. So he left it to us. We have to take it up where Madiba left it. And that's why Madiba said the struggle is not over. Madiba knew that there is an element of economic freedom that must be ushered in to complete the revolution. Madiba knew that political freedom is incomplete without economic freedom. So I wouldn't sit here and say Nelson sold out. I will say Nelson took us to a particular extent and then left it there for us to take it over. And we are here now. We don't say to Oppenheimer, this will happen, this will not happen. No. We come to Oxford University and Oxford Union and tell you what we tell Africans and what we tell everybody everywhere. The message is the same. We want the total implementation of the Freedom Charter. Those kids who demand free education, they are demanding the implementation of the Freedom Charter. Those who say let's share in the wealth of the country, they are demanding the implementation of the Freedom Charter. I said to you when I started, we are just continuing with the legacy of great African leaders who came before us. We're not going to compromise like Madiba did. We had, perhaps it was necessary to have a cooling off period. We cooled off for far too long, 21 years. Now is the time to stand up and continue with the road towards economic freedom. It is possible. It is going to happen. The most reactionary institutions in South Africa, like universities, are beginning to listen. Well, those are the most arrogant institutions. They will tell you we're independent, we don't listen to those things, academically doesn't make sense, and then they shut down everyone. They are being made to listen. Government in South Africa is listening. We marched to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange We marched to the Reserve Bank in South Africa. We marched to the Chamber of Mines. I sit with you today. All of them are sending responses to our memorandum. All of them are beginning to say, we agree, we need to talk. But in the past 21 years, those were the most arrogant institutions. You can march to them, you can write to them, they will never say anything. 3 times now, the CEO of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has been calling me, asking for a meeting. All 400 companies registered with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange have received the memorandum of the EFF and are beginning to call individually to come and explain how they've structured their companies, how people are going to benefit.
Mandela and the ANC weren't on the same mission, because when Mandela was removed from jail to start the negotiations in 1987, he was negotiating with the CIA. The CIA was basically creating Mandela to be bigger than the ANC. So already the news media, which is controlled by the propaganda machine, was already showing us that there's Mandela and then there's the rest of these other ANC savages. In fact, the main one who would turn this country into turmoil is Chris. Let's kill him. And that's why Chris Hani was killed.
Good. Where are you from? Oh, sorry. You're from Zen? Oh, you stay here. How have you found South Africa? You're used to it? How long have you been here? More than 10 years. Wow. Do you compare it to South Africa? Do you compare Zim to South Africa, or you don't? Like, can you compare it? Can you compare South Africa to Zimbabwe, or one is very big, one is very small?
It's actually similar, it's just that the economies are not the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else is almost.
So as a foreigner, do you feel you're treated nicely or fairly, or it is what it is? I'm asking you and then giving you the same answers.
No, it is what it is. You know, sometimes
it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
But then most times you blend with the community and you do what's right. I don't feel any
Okay. Anyway, thanks. Would you want to say anything to the Zimbabwe people watching? Just tell them to subscribe to the channel. In short, this is the foreigner.
The foreigner.
Yeah.
Okay, hi guys. Please subscribe to the channel with the foreigner.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, well guys, that's the video actually. If you've watched this far, I would like to appreciate you for watching, for supporting me. Man, we all have so many conspiracies about our leaders, especially African leaders. I think I'm gonna do one more other video that's gonna be interesting, long enough, and it's gonna be having some details about Nelson Mandela. So please keep it locked, subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment. Boom.